whatever's in that other
All right,
thing.
family. Peace, peace, peace to you and yours. Welcome to another edition of Baba TV Every Time Fire. We had a little technical difficulty yesterday, but I can't let this brother slip away. Again, one of the founding fathers' major components into the success of Baba TV. If we have some technical difficulties today with our big brother Blue Pill, then we just gonna be patient today. So with that being said, family, I would like to present back on Baba TV our brother Blue Pill. I'm not gonna get cussed out today. Blue Pill, because I know the difference. I'm not stupid. I know the difference.
Peace, love, and light. Shout out to Baba TV. Shout out to the audience. Shout out to the chat. Forgive me for yesterday. We're back in the building like we never left.
Yes, sir. I want to begin the same way I did yesterday, asking you about this, and you corrected me, the difference with the drug and the vaccine, with our sister coming out talking about there's no need to be worried and no need to be in fear. She's mixing it with zinc and a couple of other things. There's no need for us to wear a mask. We don't have to be going through the changes and dying like this. But my concern is the color game. White people always use, and we allow ourselves to be used to push forth their agenda. Talk a little bit about that.
There's a lot of different divergent conversations taking place. If we would, I think all devils are not created equal. So if we look at one side of the equation, we can see that there's a faction of them that are very pro-vaccine, you know what I'm saying? And they're utilizing their fear campaign to force vaccinations on the population. And it would appear that there's another contingency in the government, or, inside the government or outside the government, that's not necessarily pro-vaccine. And this would be the community somewhat that Trump will come from, because he's an ex-birther, he's an ex-truther, and those communities borderline on different conspiracies, on different conspiracy communities. So that kind of that community is somewhat traditionally anti-vaccine. So it would appear that, Trump is more so aligning himself with people who are speaking about alternative means of treating COVID-19, and hydroxychloroquine in particular is it's a drug that was used for malaria, and it's also a drug that Trump has financial interests in. So this definitely seems to be something that he is at the forefront promoting, and he's seconding the sentiments of the sister as well, with other doctors who swear by hydroxychloroquine that it's something that works and it's effective. But my younger brother, KT the Arts Degree, did a very thorough breakdown of hydroxychloroquine and how it attacks the melanin in particular. So when we hear about medicine and we hear about the medicine industry, right, and allopathic medicines or what have you, nobody ever really makes a distinction when they're talking about their breakthroughs and what works and what doesn't. No one's ever making a distinction about it being ethnic specific. It's like, okay, that research that you're doing, is it specific to a particular genetic makeup, to a particular ethnic group? You know what I'm saying? Or is it good for us too? How does it bind with melanin? Like, what are the tricks? So, that's not something that we recommend, you know what I'm saying, based on the research. And, our campaign has always been minerals over chemicals. So the activating ingredient in this breakthrough that they are witnessing is the mineral zinc, right? Zinc is what's getting it done. Um, hold on the top. And our concoction, because we have been successful, I would say, in getting in front of COVID on numerous occasions. I can't use the C word, but that particular concoction has utilized zinc as an ingredient, but there's other ingredients to go along with it, right? That totally would save people, you know what I'm saying, from utilizing any chemicals and exposing themselves to any side effects from that particular concoction. So yeah, while we understand the sister sentiments, because I have to do say that yes, I am in alignment with her saying that vaccines are not necessary if we do have a quote unquote cure. I'm also in alignment with her when she says that there's nefarious forces that are running the government, right? But it's weird. It's like, how you gonna be pro-Trump and then say that there's somebody else running the government? How's you gonna be a president and then somebody else is running your government? So there's a lot of conversations taking place. Um, I don't necessarily know if melanated people know how to triangulate these conversations to make sense of all of them. It might all just sound like noise to us. We don't really understand as a as a broader population where each one of these talking points actually fall. We just hear shit like, oh, what's going on? Like, we always on the outside of these conversations. But I do want to today's a new day, and you get more information and you get a broader perspective. And of course, the sisters in the church, like many of our people are. So she's going to proselytize for a whole different situation. She's very much, transfixed by her American experience. So she's going to proselytize, for a whole different situation. You feel me? So, but I don't want to overshadow our support for her as a melanated sister at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, who just might be overzealous for the wrong things, but we do see that spirit of a warrior in her to confront injustice, to put on for her people. She's putting on at the end of the day. She has a love in her heart. It's a maternal instinct for her to mother, Hmm? Yeah, yeah. What she for what she thinks is right. For what she thinks is right, she's gonna go hard. She's gonna campaign for it. We just left out of the sign of Cancer, right? And we're gonna see remnants of that. Leo is positioned between mother and woman. You know what I'm saying? That is the indelible test for the man, the black that is king right now. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to take our throne, you feel me? In order for us to be restored to our glory, we have to factor our relationship, right? And bring it into balance between our mother and our woman. You dig what I'm saying? Cancer and Virgo, and you in the midpoint on the cross as Leo, Tipperoth. So, right, and that goes Tipperoth. Shout out to A. Rashid for pointing out the Tipperoth, the Sephiroth, the sixth Sephiroth, the tree of life is also what denotes Rastafari, Tapari, beauty, right? A king cannot be beauty. He can't be beautiful. He can't be a king. He can't flourish without bringing into balance the relationship between his mama and his woman. You feel me? So I want to acknowledge and recognize the sister as, a strong symbol of Cancerian energy, especially her coming from the continent. You know what I'm saying? The motherland. She's just mothering, she's just mothering for an issue that she feels is near and dear to her heart. You know what I mean? She got bit by the Jesus bug, so she proselytizes for that. You know what I mean? We're just looking at our people refract whatever light that they have absorbed. And unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? That's where they have been exposed to. They've been exposed to westernized education by way of the medical industry and religion. And when they get into those two fields, they do that shit different and they make it look like something. And then they start mixing their magic and their juju on it. And then they don't speak about that. But then that's what makes the shit pop the way that they do. And we be like, well, goddamn. So yeah, that's what I observe, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the sister. And you know, she went viral and there's something about her that's magnetic that I went into my DM the day that that video came out. I had like 15 people send it to me, damn near all at the same time. You feel me? She didn't really say nothing new, but it's something about her. It's something about her that speaks to people, right? That's why she went viral. So she got that mama energy on her, hard body. Trump know it. That's why he retweeted it.
Blue Pill
Yeah.
talk about, I heard you talking about the where I'm at, the Lions Gate. Talk about that, where we are on the cosmological clock right now.
Yes. We are on the cusp of heading into the Lions Gate, which technically hits around August 8th. But if we're making exact astrological measurements, you know what I'm saying, it's actually on August 6th when Leo is at 15 degrees. Now, it's 4 gates, right, that our sun goes through throughout the year. And these are those precise points, you know, dealing with particular alignment. When the light refracts and hits the planet at a particular angle. So August 8th, this is dealing with Sirius energy, the heliocal rising of Sirius, and the Earth's perfect alignment between the Earth, Sun, and Sirius. This is when the light hits the planet directly. And they built the pyramids in Giza, right, to align with a fixed constellation. Sirius is a fixed constellation. So it's going to shine the same place every year. And like I said, if people saw the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, they showed you a scene where he got inside the temple and he had to line himself perfectly where the light refracted and it went through the window, went through the hole, and it hit him right in the pineal. Right? Raiders of the Lost Ark. So that's kind of the Lions Gate is lined up for that particular demonstration. And any alignment dealing with Sirius is dealing with the mother, right? Sirius is the mother. She's the great mother. She's just the sun. It's the black sun. It's the sun behind the sun. It's the cosmic mother. You know what I'm saying? Hence the fact my son, you know, is dealing with light. The Masons deal with light. Is dealing with Sirius, right? The dog star, the female dog, the bitch, right? Who is all set. So that is what the Lionsgate is dealing with, right? That feline energy. You know what I'm saying? More so than that canine energy, that feline energy of the mama, right? That lioness energy, that Judah energy, right? The lion. So the Sirius energy that hits this planet deals with spiritual enlightenment. It deals with liberation. It deals with rebellion, right? This is the turn up energy during the Jason months of July, August, September, October, November. This is when things get activated. Shout out to our brother Sonetta. I remember we did a march 2 or 3 years ago. I forget. Maybe it was 2018. Yes, I believe it was 2018 because it was right after the eclipse of 2017. And I got called to New York to come to a protest in my old neighborhood of Flatbush because her grandmother had got beaten up in a nail salon, right, by some Koreans. And we came out there and we shut one of the stores down right away. It was at 888 Nostrand. This was the actual spot that they did the assault at. And then we brought it down a block to where they had another establishment. And it was a little bit harder to shut that one down, right? Because they had a lot of community support. People didn't see the problem and the issue with what was going on, which to me has signaled a turn in the tide of Black sentiment, because these communities are traditional Caribbean communities, and Caribbean communities normally side with the mama, right? They hold the mama up in a special place. But these Negroes in this community was like, man, Mr. Chow ain't do nothing to nobody. That's my folks, man. I fucks with them. Fuck mama. I'm like, damn, that's different. Anyway, we go to this other location. We have some difficulty, shutting it down. Then out of nowhere, this 9-year-old shows up with a bullhorn, right? She's leading the brigade because she had brought a whole bunch of people from the other spot down to this spot, and she's on the bullhorn. Minute she got up there, she started barking, right? I'm talking about chatting down Babylon. The sky opens up, torrential downpour comes. It was sunny. It was bright and sunny on a summer day, but the sky broke and the shit opened up and it started fucking raining cats and dogs. Man, the Koreans was out of there in under 5 minutes because they knew what they was looking at. The police followed them. They was out of there after that. And we was just stuck getting drenched in the water, looking at each other, happy as, very happy with ourselves and celebrating the young empress. She was in and out. She got up out of there. I go home later on, and this was on or about 8-8. It probably was on either 8-7 or 8-8 directly. And I get home and I'm looking at the footage the Sinetta put up, and I find out the little young girl's name is Isis. You know what I'm saying? So for the family who that might have went over the head of, as we said, 8-8 is about the Lion's Gate. It's about Sirius. Sirius is or Set or Isis in the Greek tongue. You feel me? And this young girl happened to be the personification in my mind of that energy. Interestingly enough, Jay-Z also cited that incident as the reason why he formulated what's known as Team Rock, which is his social justice company, that's dealing with prison reform and the shit that put him in line to get the contract from the NFL for social reform and all of that. He said he formed that company out of him looking at TV and watching what was taking place in Flatbush at that nail salon and him feeling like he wasn't able to do anything about it. So that was a very monumental event. If nothing, just through symbolism alone. But this is definitely where I seen the power of the Lions Gate. You know what I'm saying? So I would propose, that we focus that intent and that energy on August 6th to 8th, you know, to let our women roar, let them get their shit off. Let's see what this lioness power brings to this planet. Right? Shout out to Beyonce too. I just seen the Black is King. I highly recommend, especially you conscious niggas. You need to go and see that. You feel me? That was an amazing demonstration of the mythos that we have so painstakingly worked towards explaining to people and painting with all of these different brushes and palettes. She did a wonderful job. Baba, Bob, you there? Because I can't hear you.
Yeah, I had it on mute. I didn't want the noise in the
Okay.
background.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you yesterday, DC officials count enough valid signatures to put psychedelics decriminalization on ballots, activists say. Now, my question that I posed to you was, don't melanated, carbonated people, can't they achieve the same result through higher meditation? Or will the mushrooms and the psychedelics so and so forth still be, helpful? I mean, we know meditation, it might take a little bit longer to achieve it, but we know the melanated people can get that same result through meditation.
Technically to a degree, you know. Um, what we haven't exhibited as a people, collectively or individually per se, is a great level of discipline. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna take that level of discipline to really get in line and get to yourself. Medicinal mushrooms, have a tendency to not only get you to that space, you feel me? But they also have an ability, right, to deal with trauma. And our people, whether we want to admit it or not, we're suffering from levels of, mental illness. Some people call it PTSD. I got articles by saying, shit, if you black, you got PTSD just off the break, or Moorish, or whatever you want to call yourself. All of us are dealing with things that we have not brought resolution to. You know what I'm saying? We are traumatized people. We're connected and binded by trauma and drama that is causing an unprecedented amount of mental illness. Mental illness is very subtle. You know what I'm saying? It's things that are happening to us, around us, and through us that we are not clinically diagnosing, you know what I'm saying, as things that are not only the root of our illnesses, but are causing minor fractures a little bit more every single day. When we watch the porn, of our people getting killed on camera, right? The death porn, you know what I'm saying? When we keep talking about white supremacy, we don't come up with solutions by saying, oh, we got an open enemy, but we don't have a plan of attack. Man, all of this shit causes mental illness. When we keep talking about slavery and all of these things, every time you're reminded of 9/11, you're being subtly traumatized, right? Or being reminded of that terror, you know? So the psilocybins, right, have an ability to work in ways in which we can't directly identify, and rewire parts of our brain that are damaged, right? Build those bridges that have been broken where the synapses can now travel through, so we get to increase our brain activity. You know what I'm saying? We get to heal parts of us that need and deserve healing. You feel me? Um, and then it also, it because it is part of what's called the mycelium map, which is one of the longest networks underground, right? It duplicates or replicates our neural network. And if you look at a picture of the cosmos, you know what I'm saying? Our neural network almost looks identical to that. So these are ways in which, from spores that are not native to this planet, these are ways in which we're able to bring together our quantum mind. You feel me? So I be thinking things, and somebody on the other side of the world is able to connect with that thought. You feel me? It builds up once it connects, and it builds your neural network in your own brain. Then we start connecting like nodes in different places. So I feel that, especially for what it is that we want to do as a people and as a community, this will assist us in strengthening our mental resolve, introducing us to the powers of our mental, right? Getting a little bit more excited about, oh, I can use my mind to move some things. I can use my mind to tap in on another level. I can share information with my people without having to post it online. You know what I'm saying? There's many benefits that I feel melanated people in particular stand to benefit from by utilizing this medicine and other plant-based medicines as well that help us with trauma. That prayer, meditation, and breathing are not necessarily going to do alone, but in addition to. You feel me?
Right, right. Um, I wanted to say, I'm going to say this. You were talking back to my first question. Um, I Uber, and when I'm out in the street, there's a particular intersection. All of the dope fiends go to bum money. All right. And it's like a four-way. They got them on each corner now. And most of them are Caucasian. And I talked to a couple of them the other day, and the white boys told me we get more money from the black woman than we get just about from black people in general, but they says particularly that black woman. I said, well, how much do they be giving you? Some of them $10, $20. Now you can obviously look at these individuals and tell that they on dope. It's not that you can't tell that you know a dope fiend when you see one. So what is it, Blue Pill? Is the black woman looking, is she gonna get blessings from Jesus because you giving this white boy $10 or $20? The black man can't get a dinner hardly when he come home, but you'll give, I'm talking about everyday people now. You understand? But
Right.
you'll get is what, $10, $20. Not saying that the white folks won't come through there, but they got sense. They'll give them something to eat, or water, or a sandwich. They won't give them no money too much. But that black man and that black woman, they'll give them. And the whole conference, I should have had my camera. What is it about that? Is that the Jesus syndrome? Does the black woman feel that, she's going to get blessings for giving this little crusty cracker $20 or $10, and I can't get a dinner? She don't even know who the hell it is.
Right. Let's go back to the story. Like I said, I just seen The Black is King, right? And it was a wonderful rendition of our mythos, right? And I'm part of an African traditional system. And it was told to me by the elders in that traditional system. They said, we're going to tell you one of our oldest stories. And the story that they proceeded to tell me was about the creation of the European in particular. And they said that in African villages, they did not harbor or enable any genetic deficiencies. So if someone was born with something out of line, they wouldn't nurse it, cater it, or enable it. They would order it, you know what I'm saying, extinguished or eliminated or exiled, right? And it was the job of the mothers, more than likely, to bring these particular defected offspring out into the wild, right? Where they presumably will be killed or left to fend for themselves, okay? But I'm sure that the instruction was for them to be terminated. They said that, on more than one occasion, the melanated woman with her compassionate heart, right, would not kill her offspring, who she was quantumly entangled through. That's her child. But, yeah, out of 2020. But back then, there was a different standard at play, and they was allowing these children to escape. These children escaped into the mountains, and they banded together. You know what I'm saying? And they became survivalists. Out of necessity, right? Every animal's instinct is self-preservation. They all want to survive somehow, some way, and they're gonna figure it out. But that level of, you know, what they had to go through to get there, and them not remembering, them not forgetting, you know what I'm saying, who kind of sent them to their death. You know, they've had a chip on their shoulder. You know, they had daddy issues ever since. And the mommy issue thing is about, you know, I want to show more love to her than her son do, who she chose over me, right? And then the mama wants to show nurturing and compassion to the seed that she abandoned, who had to grow up on their own. So they got this weird relationship that the melanated men are looking at, but not quite yet understanding. You feel me? I tell people all the time, just to put things in perspective, if you were the beast that he said that you were, right? Scientifically, socially, all of these things that he allegedly told you in slavery, right? Which, like I said, the omission of what took place in Moorish Europe, right? The omission of that, because people are in their feelings about history. If we're not willing to look at what melanated men did to European women, even in Moorish Europe, right? In addition to what melanated men did to their white offsprings in Africa, or their albinos, what have you, right? Then you're really not going to understand what took place in this particular social experiment called slavery here in this country, and why he came with such an energy and ferocity that, you know, we still can't explain to this very day, other than saying, oh, he's a beast. Granted, right? But he ain't beast on everybody else like that. And he's brought his terror all around the planet. So if you was the beast that he say that you are, right, you got to come from a mama. He know that, right? All of his research in the 1800s denotes that he had a very firm and grasp understanding about biology to some degree, and metaphysics. So he know who your mama is. Why would he put his seed, right, the progenitor of his legacy, right, the holder of the grail, right, which is his blood, the one that he allegedly does everything for in the name of, why would he put his child on the fucking breast of a melanated woman, knowing damn well that breast in the Bible, Shaddai, is God, right? The colostrum fluid that comes from breastfeeding is actually genetically what's going to make up the seed, right? Especially coming from a mitochondrial matriarchal source, like a melanated woman who has superior DNA and gene structure, right? Why would he allow his child to be nursed by a beast, knowing damn well that he's just gonna have a baby beast, right? With what he calls a animal ape disposition? Who would do that? Who would be that motherfucking reluctant, other than somebody that knew, shit, I'm gonna return this child back to mama, right? I'm fighting for the titty, you know? So you got to look at it kind of like that. Like, look at her in her most primal setting with him. Look at their relationship. Look how he puts on for her, right? Look how he'll hire her and put her in position where she could slit his fucking throat if she wanted to, but she don't, right? That's her child. And he know that's his mama. You the only motherfucker that don't know what the hell is going on, right? So they lock you out the crib and they got this weird relationship. Hey, that's my observation.
Woo!
And when I look at it like that, it makes all the sense to me because it aligns perfectly. I look at their relationship. She knows something about him and he knows something about her. The only thing that he know about you that you're not willing to admit is, you know, he know about your bitchness on a different level because he violated you on many occasions, right? And so he know that you're not as tough as you think you are. Feel me? And you know the same thing about him because you don't went to war with him. You know that he ain't as tough as he presents himself to be. You feel me? But there's this reluctance to just finally get it on because there are these two entities in between that you don't have a grasp of your relationship with. You had a very physically close contact relationship with his woman. Look, we was in Moorish Spain longer than we have been in this particular country. Put that in perspective. 700 years. This country's only 244 years old. America, the US, if you will, right? We was in Moorish Spain for 700 years, interacting and interfacing with his woman, creating octoroons and all of the shit that they talk about they did in New Orleans. We was doing that over there. That's how we fell. Say niggas don't want to tell a story. They don't want to tell the whole story. They just want to tell a piece of it. You feel me? So, you know, they say that you can't go to war with a man, with a species, with a enemy or whatever, until you understand the proclivities of their procreation, how they actually have sex. That tells you a lot about how they go to war too, right? There's things that we're not willing to identify and investigate. Think about the French and their interaction with us, wherever they encounter us. Think about it in Africa, right? Through the Senegalese, all of the Western places that you find the French interaction with melanated people. Think about it in New Orleans. Think about it in Haiti, right? The French want to know you on a genetic level. They different, right? They different. Look at the Portuguese in Brazil. They different, right? These people have infused themselves with us. You feel me? They want to know us on a genetic level. There's other Europeans like the Germans. They want to know you on an intellectual level. They're not necessarily going to fuse their genes with you per se, right? They're going to study you on a biological, intellectual level. The fucking French, yeah, they want to get mixy, right? They want to mix genes and then research that shit, you know? But like I said, the Moors was up in Europe doing all sorts of um, genetic bonding, if you will. So, yeah, that's what I observe.
See, that's why I like to talk to Red and Blue Pill, because I can go off on rants, but they will bring
We'll
things.
bring it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring it right back in a historical perspective and bring it right on up to today.
Look, because yeah, in my periphery, there is no rants. Like everything has merit because it's all rooted in something. You feel me?
Right.
And you can always bring it back. The effects, right, appear to be very freely distributed tentacles, right? Just flapping and flailing all around, like, oh shit, look at this, look at that. But if you know the causation, you know what I'm saying, you could always bring it back to a focal point. Whoop. And yeah, that's what I be seeing, you know.
All right, Red. I mean, Blue. Let's talk about that mighty Mike Tyson and the comeback of while we talking about the black man, who's the strongest man on the earth, the man that everybody is trying to use for something. Talk about Mike Tyson and his coming back. Is this a good thing? Is Mike gonna be strong? Is Mike, you know what I mean? You know, do you think, because you speak, you think on the cosmological level, is this his time? Is it good for brother Mike to come back?
Absolutely. Again, Mike is a Cancer. Um, this is this is a very strong Cancerian year. It's this country's 244th birthday, and that within itself signals the fact that this thing got a date with destiny. You know what I'm saying? This country got a date with destiny. Us as a people have a date with destiny. You know what I'm saying? Manhood has a date with destiny. Everything's at the crossroads right now. So Mike Tyson representing Mikael energy. Mikael energy. If you look at this year, it signals the return of all Michaels. All three of them is popping in the headlines to some degree. You know, in the mythos, in the narrative, in the story, it always said the return of the Christ. And then in the latest iteration of the mythos, right? Whether it's been hacked, fucked up or not, it's the Christ is in this mythos called Jesus, right? Mythos. Don't get in your feelings, y'all. Right? But the mythos are always tied to the cosmos. So these things still take place on a cosmological and sometimes anthropological level, meaning that the way that the wheels, the cosmos spin, these stories are always told, right, in different time periods. And some of them personify themselves on the physical plane in the form of people that act out these mythos, right? Because as above, so below, if you are composed of cosmic stardust, right, then you have a imperative to play out the story of the stars. I mean, it's just that simple. This shit don't got to get that complicated. So, in the latest iteration of that particular narrative, who they call Jesus, right? Who I'm saying is the return of the Christos or the Christ energy is an energy, an awakening, right? A light that this particular plane of existence will be exposed to, that will ignite something in us, to wake something in us, where we are able to rise this cosmic force inside of us, because we got a sun inside of us, a solar plexus. So we got cosmic force, we got melanin, we got carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen, the very things that come from stars we have in us. So if we have to raise that, right, to what I call our corona rising, to our crown, right, where we are glorified in our 33rd degree, just like the Christos, and you become illuminated and you become Christ conscious, and we are able to do things, like I said, once again, as a body of people that are activated, right, on the the highest degree of our energy, where we can change shit, we could bring heaven to earth, right? With all that being said, um, they say that has to be preceded by the appearance first of Michael. They say the archangel Michael comes with the legions to do war and set it off before the return of the Christ, right? So Michael Jackson, you know, is heavy in the news this year again. Michael Jordan, his documentary came out. He returned. Mike Tyson is on his way back. And I'm sure that there's other Michaels that y'all can plug into this particular narrative. You know what I'm saying? MLK, the riots and immediately brought up 1968 comparisons. April 4th, 1968, when he was assassinated. They said that these cities ain't burned as bad this year since 1968. The riots, right? Martin Luther King, his name is Michael. He's a Mikael as well. So there's other motifs. The year ain't out. You're gonna see more shit, right? This Christ energy, this awakening, this revival, this resurrection. We are in apocalyptic times right now. What does an apocalypse mean? The etymology of that word just means an uncovering or unveiling, right? Audience, are you not seeing things being uncovered and unveiled in front of your eyes? Are you going to deny your 2020 vision, right? Go to sleep then. Go take a nap. Rest your eyes and then come back with it. wipe the crust and the sleep out. Take a good look. God damn it. There's some things being uncovered and unveiled this year, unlike any other year in our existence. Just keep it real with yourself. You feel me? So we are living in apocalyptic times. We are living in times of revelation, if you will. And like I said, once you strip down the the biblical connotations that these words have, because people can't seem to get their minds around that traumatic experience. Once you just look at the etymology of what these words actually mean, then you could be like, oh, I get it. That's where we at in time. You know, I see it. I can admit it. I can be real with myself. You feel me? Look at the famines. Look at all of the fucking plagues, right? Hail, famine, pestilence, war, locusts, frogs, right? Killing of the firstborn, right? Fear of a black messiah, killing of the boys, the children in the street by the police, all of that, right? All of that is tantamount. In biblical times, that would be the fucking Romans hunting down the firstborn. I mean, come on, son. Like, yeah, and this is the new Egypt. Y'all will go on a fucking let me not. Y'all will go on a trip with Anthony Browder and y'all will allow Dr. Ben to write whole books and make comparisons of ancient Egypt to the new Egypt, right? Niggas would go in a whole lodge and allow the Masons to tell you it. But if I say, oh, this is the new Egypt, you want primary sources and all types of other shit. I mean, but still, all of that can be produced. I'm not gonna overstretch my explanations. I'm gonna make broad terms. You do the research. This is the new Egypt, y'all. Okay? So it would be denoted that the same script and the same narrative is going to play out because it's cyclical, it's locked inside of a cycle. So a Moses gonna have to run down on the Pharaoh and be like, let my people go. And if not, here go the plagues. Farrakhan did that July 4th. For the record. Right? And when he turned up on Miami, it's been turned up ever since. I mean, I did witness that. Like, niggas could be in denial all they want. But again, these are things that we can see if you just open your eyes and get out your feelings. Right? The writing is on the wall. I mean, the shit is etched in stone. You know? What else do people want? What else can you do for people at this particular point in time? The universe is doing it. The people on the planet is interpreting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all being put into perspective, and if people fail to catch it, that's on them. No matter what modality you was raised in, if you was raised in a masjid, if you was raised in a church, if you was raised in a goddamn synagogue, if you was raised in a temple, if you was raised on the block, if you was raised wherever you was raised, goddamn it, you should have been prepared for this moment in time. What else was they talking about? Yeah, Baba.
Yes, sir. All right. Now I want to make my rounds to the island of Jamaica, do a sidebar here and promote.
Yes, I.
Yeah. You never know. Say red and blue, an article man straight from Brooklyn. You know.
Yeah. Shout out to the yard, my them.
Mm-hmm.
You're done up.
This
The
a new
cruisins too, man. Shout out to St. Croix. Shout out to the Virgin Islands. Shout out to Midnight. Abu Bakr, rest in peace to Vaughn Benjamin. You know, long time. Immortalized prophet right there. You're done though.
Check out this sister. Look her up. Coffee, a young sister out of the
Lessons of
island of Jamaica. Check her out. She has a new CD out. You
Oh,
Google,
word.
yeah,
Oh,
coffee.
the
I put
must
one of
come
her
back.
singles. I put one of her singles
Bro,
on my channel just a little bit ago.
I love her music. I love her cadence. I love her rhythm, her her rhythmic approach to how the melody that she used. Like everything about her is dope. Like her song last year did so much for my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like when you talking about music that pours into you and gives you a fullness, like she had that vibration in the gratitude song. Like I'll be having a bad day. I'll put that song on and it aligns me. You feel me? It's that powerful. So I highly recommend that people purchase that. And that y'all go and watch that Buju Banton interview on Breakfast Club. You know, if you was ever confused to what the Iman them represent, you understand? And what again, because religion gets bad rap, especially in this fucking community, yo. Especially in this community. But if you want to look at the benefits, the upside of what the discipline of a doctrine brings you, right? Then you can look at an upright Ross. You can look at people who's on a higher spectrum of these discipline systems and how they apply it to their lives and what comes out of it. You know what I'm saying? He was speaking pure truth and conviction. And the only way that somebody's able like him to stand in that truth is really by holding the liberty of the love of whatever it is that they quote unquote believe in. You know? So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, talk just while we on it. Talk because you can't be. I'm convinced. I remember the first time I started going to Brooklyn, and it was instant love. The cultural. You can't go to Brooklyn without being touched by the Caribbean, without being touched by Rastafari and the Crown. Shout out to Crown Heights. I mean, now Red and Blue have already went into the flip side of that with the Shower Posse. We know that history, but to go into the culture of Rastafari and roots reggae music that you and Red Pill came up on. It wasn't just hip hop, because you from Brooklyn and Flatbush at that.
I mean, yeah. I grew up in dance hall, right? I grew up literally Tilden Ballroom, Biltmore, the Ark, um, Legend, Flamingo, you name it. You know what I'm saying? We was there through the whole thing. But that was me after coming from St. Croix. So I was exposed in St. Croix to Calypso because my grandfather is a world famous Calypso singer. He was Farrakhan's teacher before Farrakhan went to the nation. That's how my grandfather even got over here to the States. His first stop was the Apollo. They brought him to the Apollo to perform. Um, so I was familiar with Calypso and soca and roots and culture reggae. You know, when we were in St. Croix with Sabi, you know what I'm saying? Sabi kept a lot of the ganja men around, and we would go into the mountains to get food from them, right? Because they were the ones that were dealing with the vegetarian ital. So we would go and get roti from them. We would go and get bean, like patties and everything. So I was exposed to, the actual the liberty aspect of the culture back in St. Croix, how they live as a people. When I came to Brooklyn, uh, the first place that we moved to was Flatbush. I lived on Winthrop between Bedford and Flatbush, and that was very much like the melting pot of the Caribbean, Panamanian, Trinidadian, uh, Bajans, definitely Haitians. You know what I'm saying? And everything in between, was in that community. And you know, you be on one block or you be in one building for that matter, and you hear this cacophony of sounds and you smell this conglomeration of smells, you know, flavors from everybody's cuisine representing, you know what I mean, their direct descent. And it was just such a beautiful thing. All of the different just so much going on, just so much pouring into. And yeah, it just broadens your scope and your horizon and your understanding. And like I said, you know, sound shapes things. You feel me? Sound has shape, sound has color. So to hear all of those sounds, you know what I'm saying? To see all of those colors when you hit the parkway, the richness of the colors, seeing our people in feathers and colors when they're celebrating on Labor Day, you know, the West Indians, quote unquote, you know, later on in life when you come into this information dealing with our native indigenous aspects of ourselves. To me, I can relate because I'm like, shit, I see what my people look like in headdress and adorned in, you know what I'm saying, feathers and things of that nature. Like, I can make the connection and the correlation. You feel me? I know what connects us more so on both sides of the ocean in terms of how we customize and display ourselves from what we do on the continent to what the indigenous Native Americans do to even when I go to Mexico or I go to Latin American countries per se, right? Or I study the Mayan or what have you, I can make those connections quicker than I can with some nigga with jeans and Levi's on. You feel me? Yeah, we could quickly make our connection to the European based on our love for foreign design and drip. But I'm like, shit, we a different type of people when we are in our indigenous self with our headdress and our feathers and our leathers and you know what I'm saying? Like it really helped shape my mind to be open to explore the vastness of us.
Beautiful, Blue. All right, I'm going to put this on the screen.
Yes,
September
yes,
11th through the
yes.
17th, 7-day Kundalini virtual workshop. Talk about that, Blue Pill.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Brother Rich. This was another one of, you know, the brother's amazing ideas about how to interact and interface with his audience, his vast audience, the beautiful people that make up his audience. We want them to have a visceral experience, not just information, not just people talking to you about something, but something that we can physically participate in that has a real effect on our bodies, on our psyche, on our health, and that is the 7-day Kundalini virtual workshop. So this will be an online workshop where we're gonna work with each chakra. We're gonna move the energy up each chakra. You know, we're gonna do different exercises and practices that deal with unlocking. And for those that already have those particular chakras unlocked, how to like just be in that space and create in that space, how to magnify the potency of that particular energy center and move that energy all the way up till we get to the crown, you know, on the seventh day. So we'll be utilizing story, poetry, music, vibrations, breathing in particular, heavy on the breathing, you know. And we feel that this is needed, it's necessary going into the fall of 2020, you know, not necessarily knowing what's promised with this the you know, the COVID situation, but making sure that people have access to the tools in real time that they're going to need to raise their energy and their vibration, specifically breathing, because we have a lot of proof, right, from the studies that were done in the Eastern world, Myanmar, Indonesia, um, different and other parts of Asia, that were able to utilize ancient breathing techniques to keep their COVID count almost down to 0%. You feel me? Through breathing, right? Because the COVID shit is all about breath. It's all about a loss of breath. It's all about your lungs. It's about your blood, right? And blood is precipitated by how much oxygen you're able to get to it. So that's dealing with breathing. That's dealing with being in natural settings. You feel me? Where there's an abundance of oxygen, higher altitudes, getting into the mountains, right? I'm going back to the mountains this weekend. That's my happy place. I mean, the beaches too, but having your extremes. But the city, I don't really, there's not too much that I need from the city these days other than commerce. Feel me? When I'm there, I need to be doing business. Other than that, it's not working towards the level of health that we need these particular days to rival what we up against, right? You don't want to end up in them hospitals. You don't want to end up in no proximity of this medical industry right now because they are in full scale uh experimental mode. You know what I mean? Do not volunteer yourself to be experimented on in this day and age. It's not going to be worthwhile. So we want to emphasize and push health to the highest degree. You know what I mean? To the highest degree. And there's not enough emphasis is put on breathing. It's not enough emphasis to put on meditation, right? So we can have that discipline that you're talking about where, all right, if you don't need the psilocybins, you want to create DMT right in your own brain. You know what I'm saying? You want to amplify the endorphins. You want to do this. You want to do that. You want to heal with light, you know, um, in your own head, in your own mind, utilizing visualization. You can do all of these things. You can do a lot of things. You are amazing. You are powerful. You are unstoppable. You are an incredible creation. But you have to activate your tool belt. You know what I'm saying? You got to get motherfucking new batteries for your devices. You know what I'm saying? You got to charge them batteries up. You got to do what's necessary for you to be the best version of yourself and for you to be activated at all times, anywhere, no matter where you at. So that's what this workshop is going to be, putting an emphasis on these particular things, giving the people the tools that they need right now to master their craft.
Mm, beautiful. Well, my spirit is telling me that that's it. So if you want to take us on home, brother Blue Pill, I want to first say shout out to Mama Pill, Red Pill, Blue Pill, and KT, the Arch
Yes,
Degree.
yes. Shout out to the family. Um, and of course, the extended family as well. AA, Brother Rich, Black Dot, Dr. Valentine, Bobby, Delbert Blair, may he rest in peace. Dr. Sabi, may he rest in peace. Dr. Africa, may he rest in peace. Baba Kalindi, may he rest in peace. Credo Mutwa, may he rest in peace. Dr. Frances Cress Wilson, may she rest in peace. And people leave her name out of their mouth and stop being disrespectful, or we taking heads. And all of the great ones. You know what I'm saying? Drew Ali, Elijah, Garvey, Selassie, you know, everybody that somebody draws inspiration from. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not be disrespectful to how other people see themselves in the world, or what they utilize for inspiration or character or strength. You know what I'm saying? May we all find our inner strength. May we all find the need to unify our collective strength so we can do very strong affirmative things on this planet, because it's going to take strength to shift things the way that we need it to be shifted in our favor. The powers within you, the powers within the people. You know what I'm saying? There is power within prayer. If you do it with heart, if you do it with intent, if you do it with focus and purpose, all of these things are accessible. We have a retreat coming up as well. Back to the mountains of Mount Shasta at the end of August and one in the beginning of September during Labor Day. That could be found at shastameditation.com. Again, the workshop is coming in early September, September 11th, right? I'm sure that the brother put the flyer up again for the Eventbrite link to that. We just had a monumental lecture in Atlanta, me and A.A. Rashid, called Dark Matter Timing, The Myths Decoded. It's about 7 hours. It goes into a lot of what I'm hitting on today, but it's a little bit more extensive because it's pictures, video, and all sorts of other stuff to back it up, right? To give the backdrop to one of the most powerful mythos and narratives on this planet, which is your story, my story, the Corona Rising story, you know, the return of the king, you know what I'm saying? All of that good stuff. And you could cash at me $45 to $blue pillar 44, PILLAR, pillar, blue pillar 44, if you want the link for
And
that
I will put in
webinar.
all that in the description, family, not to
Yeah,
cut you.
you gotta, in the cash app, you have to include your email so I can shoot you the link, right? But if you make that payment, I'll shoot you the link for that in the title, say DMT, right? Dark Matter Timing, DMT 2020 or something like that. And I'll get you that link. You know what I mean? What else we got going on? Yeah, shout out to the shifters, right? We're gonna be doing a new campaign in the month of August for goldwater.com, GOLDEWATER. That's my health and wellness business, right? That I got with the brother 19 Keys. We're gonna be launching some more new products and some more services in the month of gold, which starts tomorrow. I'm excited for that. Shout out to the Leos. This is your time. Shout out to the Virgos you got up next. Shout out to the Libras. Shout out to the Scorpios, Sages, you know what I'm saying, and the Caps. It's going to be a very interesting remainder of this year leading up to December 21st, 2020, which is the Great Conjunction in the Great Alignment. All right. And with that said, family, peace, love, and light. Remember what has been said to you. You are the universe. You are cosmic dust. You are any and everything in this universe. You have the ability to do all things. You know what I'm saying? That goes for all people at all times, but we already know that there's going to be like a fraction of people that's able to grasp this message that registers something like 1%. You feel me? Then you the one. Make sure that you the one at all times. You the ones that you've been waiting on. You the ones that you've been waiting for. And you the only ones that exist, right? You the only one in this universe. Everything else is a reflection of, your imagination, if you will. You gotta grasp that concept, pull it in, bring it home, magnify it, open it up on itself, and do your work, do your magic, right? It all starts and it ends right here, right between your ears, right here, right in your mind. So with that, I want to say shout out to Baba TV, fire every time. You already know what it is. Peace, love, and light. And drink on that natural spring water. The brother, he'll tell you what that crisp water does. It's a different vibration.
Sure is, Blue.
Yeah,
Oof.
man. It's
Gotta
a
go get.
different
I got
vibration. Let me get
definitely
some.
go back out there and get me some. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Blue Pill, for giving me your time and coming back on Baba TV um, to give this well needed information, inspiration, and perspective on things that you always uh, do so well. And I'm just so thankful for you. Thank you so much,
The
brother.
honor's mine. The honor's mine as always. I appreciate you. All right.
All
Family,
right.
you can
Shout out to
follow
George
me on,
Baker in the
yeah,
building. I see you, George.
yeah. Follow us on IG at Blue Pillar 44. I have, daily information and updates that I get into on my IG page. A lot of real-time breakthroughs because, you know, that's where the news be coming out at. So yeah, you can check us out over there. You could check us out on YouTube. Know the Ledge Media. Know the Ledge Media. All right, as well as some of the work that we're doing over on Black Magic 363 with Brother Rich. And with that, y'all, peace, love, and light.